Hey guys, today's video I am going to teach you how to trim your hair at home. It's not a specific hairstyle that I'm going to teach you how to cut today. I am just literally teaching you how to trim the very ends of your hair. When growing out your hair, it is still very important to get the ends off because split ends and dry ends honestly are not going to help grow out your hair any faster. I know sometimes people will go like 6, 7, 8 months without cutting their hair. And that's fine if your hair is healthy, but I'm doubting that it's completely healthy. What I'd recommend doing is getting a slight trim every 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8 if you can go that long, depending on what you do to your hair. I style my hair about 4 or 5 times a week. I give it a few days off where I don't even use any kind of heat on it, but I use quite a bit of heat, so I do need to trim mine every 6 weeks about. And I would recommend using scissors that are specifically meant for your hair. These are mine right now. They are what I use at the salon that I work in. And before I begin, I should say that I am a licensed cosmetologist. I've been working in a salon now for over 2 years. And I did want to get that out of the way. I just think it's something that you should say if you are licensed or not. Not that it really matters, but I do want to say that I am licensed just because I am giving you advice on how to cut your hair. But that doesn't necessarily mean that what I say is going to transfer through this video. I hope that I give enough information that you don't mess up your hair, but I also want to say that if you are unsure, even after watching like multiple videos, you are unsure, I would just recommend going to a salon and just getting a trim there. This video is meant for people that are pretty confident in their hair and doing it themselves. I do not want anybody messing up their hair because of me, so I did want to say that as a disclaimer. So what you're going to need is a cutting comb, like this one here, and then your scissors. So let's begin. Now there are plenty of ways to do this, but what I'm going to do is cut my hair dry. You can do it wet, and I'm not cutting the length off my hair, and I would recommend if you are cutting the length just to dampen that a little bit. You can probably get a better line, but I'm just doing my layers today, so I'm just going to be doing it dry, and I did flat iron my hair. So I'm going to take my comb, and I like to start in this wide section here. And if you see me looking this way, that's because that is where my mirror is. The sun is coming up. It's only like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I tried positioning it this way like I normally do. And it was so dark. And I've already filmed this once. So figured I would just do the best I can. Just like this. So I would just make sure that you have about 1.5 inches out. Just so you don't cut your fingers. And I would normally hold it up. But for the purpose of this video, I am just going to hold it like this and then just bring it down so you guys can see it a little bit better. And what I would recommend is not going in and cutting it straight across this way. I would go in and cut it down. So just going in and cutting downward just to get off the ends. And I don't have a trash or anything by me. My floor is already covered in hair, so I'm not too worried about it. But if that is something you are worried about, go ahead and get a trash can. I just think it's a lot of work doing it that way. So I'm going to take the section in front of it and also picking up that section I just did so we make sure that we are going with the same guideline. I'm going to hold it in the same spot because I can see where that line was that I cut. Just do the same thing, just going in a downward, maybe slightly angled, but not really. Just never go across like this. You're going to get such harsh lines doing it that way. Only time I would recommend going in a horizontal cutting position is if you have quite a bit of hair to trim off. But if you don't, I would just recommend doing what I am doing right now. If you do cut your hair this way, I would also recommend going back in and doing what I am showing you right now, or else you're going to get what I call the stair step effect, and that is literally when you can see the layers. They look like stair steps just going horizontal across your whole head, so not cute. So doing the same thing all along this area here. And I am growing out my bangs, so I'm just going to start to cut them in the same way that my layers are cut. Okay, now that I have that guide established right there, I like to start in the back of my head and the back sections, just because when I'm doing something and there is a hard part and an easy part to it, I always like to do the hard part first just to get it out of the way and done with. So I'm going to flip around and kind of show you what I'm doing. It's the same thing basically. This time we are going to go in a vertical placement against the head. So I'll show you what I mean. Going to grab your section and hold it straight out from your head, just like that. I'm going to bring it back down so you guys can see it better, and then just begin to cut in the same fashion. Going from that same section right there, I'm just going to take the same pieces except a little lower this time. And then you're going to do the same thing in the back, just making sure you are doing about an inch wide sectioning. So I'm just going to go to this side now since I just did the other side in the back. So straight out from the head, just like that. And I like to kind of flip mine down. Hopefully I'm getting good footage of me doing the back. It's going to be so hard because I still need to look in the mirror to do this. So hopefully you guys can sort of see what I'm doing in the back. You'll be able to see a lot better what I'm talking about since I'm on the side of my hair now. I'm going to just take a section from the top, hold it straight out from my head, and then just go ahead and go right in. And with this piece right here that I just did, I'm going to take the piece right below it and also use that as my guide, just like that. And then the same thing, just using the same hair as my guideline for where I am cutting. You're just going to repeat the same steps along both sides of your hair. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through this side since I'm done with it and feel if there are any other spots that need a little more trimming. Like right here still feels a little dry. I'm just going to hold it up and then just trim a little bit more. And this is what I mean by if there's any pieces that you're going to need to cut off, go in this way, but then once again you want to go in this way as well. So if you have to cut horizontal, make sure you go ahead and go in and cut vertically afterward. And then that blends again, just like that. I'm going to trim the other side and I will be right back. So I just got done doing this side as well, and I took my blow dryer and just kind of made sure all the little hairs were out of my hair. And then what I did was took a mirror and then just kind of looked in my other mirror, if that makes sense. I just took a mirror like this and then flipped it this way just so I could see myself in the mirror to make sure that all the hair was blending properly. Also, this is an extra step, and I didn't do it for this video just because not everybody can go out and buy scissors and thinning shears, but I have these as well. You can see that the teeth right there. So when you go to cut the hair, it takes about like half the hair out. And this is good for blending as well. And I'm not gonna do it, but what I would do is take a piece that didn't look like it was too blended and do this. Like you have your piece like right here, and I would go in and just, I'm not gonna really cut it, but go in like toward the bottom, and normally I go like on a slight angle, and then I would just cut it, and that would just help to blend out the hair as well. But like I said, point cutting, which is what I did in this video, when you're going into the hair at a vertical angle, that also helps to blend the hair, so I wasn't too worried about it. I know I probably didn't cover everything I could in this video, and it's sort of hard because since I do know how to cut hair, I kind of forget pieces that I would need to explain. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask down below in the comment section. I'm always happy to answer, because like I said, I know I did not cover everything that I could have. It's sort of hard to do these sorts of videos because I did go to school for it, so I'm used to doing it a certain way, and I don't really remember how it was to not know how to do it, if that makes sense at all. So it's sort of hard to explain just off the top of my head. But like I said, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer any questions that anybody does have. Oh, if you are cutting the length of your hair, like I said, I would recommend doing it a little on the damp side or wet, but I would clip up like all of this hair that are your layers. So just clip all of that out of the way. I guess I can do that for you too. And I'm not going to really cut it, but what I would do is have this damp or wet, go through with my comb, and make sure you are like even. I'm going to come a little closer. Like make sure your hands are even, you would be cutting the same amount. And then I would just cut at a horizontal line, and then once you have that established, run your comb through it, and then I would grab that hair again a little higher up, and then go in and cut it vertically just to make sure that it's not too blunt. And that's how I would do the bottom. But the bottom of my hair isn't as bleached or anything, so it's okay. It doesn't really need a trim quite yet. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, and like I said, once again, if you have questions, please ask. And like I said, if you are unsure, just go to a salon. Do not attempt this on your own. I do not want to feel responsible for messing anybody's hair up. So please just do this at your own risk. And I think that is all I wanted to say. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I always appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.